Good morning. So today's Sunday, July 19th, and is it the 19th? No, it's the 17th. Sunday, July 17th. And I'm here by myself on the live Zoom call. So I'll just go ahead and record the information for anyone who wants to watch it later on during the week. Of course, we have moved into the baselines week. Thank you so much for your hard work. I'm really excited and happy that you've been able to be introduced to this magnificent technology. Continue your practices, as often as you can, 2 or 3 times a day, if you can, throughout the course of your life, as you're going about your day, observing space. I will continue to the live Zoom calls throughout the week for not only those who join the study later on, but for anyone who wants to continue to watch the broadcast later on. They will be posted. So I'm starting off today with a reading from Dissolving Pain by Femi and Jim Robinson. This is the Kindle version, pages 102 to 103. And so Dr. Femi starts off writing, I can't quite say, but I've never met a pain that can't be dissolved through the use of attention skills. I can almost say it because even pain that is mostly physical or structural, for example, from surgery or a wound, can be dissolved. There are people who aren't good at using attention skills or don't stay with their use, but virtually any kind of pain I have worked with and has dissolved in this way. I can think of only a relative few exceptions in the early 40 years I've used attention skills in the treatment of pain. Take the case of Marianne, one of my colleagues. She had first seen me after surgery for a plantar wart on her foot. The incision where the wart was removed wouldn't close. After several sessions, the hole closed and the incision healed. Marianne later reported, by the time the exercises were done, meaning the open focus exercises, she said, I was able to completely merge my awareness into the pain. I was able to spread my pain over my entire body and finally spread it through my skin and outside of my skin to the space outside of my body until every vestige of pain was dissolved. So as we take in those words of the client with the stage name Marianne, we'll move into a new session, an open focus joint space therapy session. Allow yourself to do this for yourself, for your own health and well-being. Can you notice the silence right now? Notice the silent spaces in between the sounds. Now look around the room, and notice the space in the room. Noticing that if there are any objects in the room, there's space in and through or throughout and around the objects. Now look at the computer screen and observe the space between yourself and the computer screen. Notice the empty space around the people on the screen, meaning myself, any words you might see on the screen. Notice any empty spaces between the letters or around any sentences or sections or divisions on the screen. Just observe the space. Now close your eyes and allow yourself to further relax. Notice what is happening in the mind, the body, the emotions. With your eyes closed, can you imagine the space between your eyes? Experience the distance between your left and your right eye. Now, can you imagine the space around your head? Can you imagine space above and all around your head? Notice the space between your ears. Now experience the space between your ears and your shoulders. Notice the space around your shoulders and around your neck. Now let's go deeper into space. Can you again imagine experiencing the space above your head? Now sense space below your feet. Experience space in front of your body. Experience space behind you. Experience space at the sides of your body. Now, can you experience them all simultaneously? Can you imagine feeling space between your body and the walls? Can you imagine sensing space between your body and the ceiling? Can you feel space between your body and the floor of the room and beneath the tiles and throughout the floorboards of the room and into the earth? Now, can you imagine the reality that the same space that you are experiencing in the room is also the same space that exists within the skull of your head. Experience the space within the skull of your head. There are four major joints or sutures in the human skull. These fibrous joints are the connections between the four hemispheres of the brain. The frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital lobes. Experience space within your skull. Now, can you experience space within these four major fibrous joints of your head? Imagine experiencing space within the joints of your skull. Imagine space in the joint attaching the frontal lobe of your head. Now experience space in the joint down your head's center, separating the brain's two parietal lobes, the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. Now, can you experience space in the joints of your temporal earlobes? Finally, imagine space in the fibrous joint connecting the back of your skull, known as the occipital lobe. The temporal mandibular joints, TMJ, are the two joints that connect your lower jaw to your skull. TMJs are among the most complex joints in the body. TMDs are disorders of the jaw muscles. TMJs and the nerves associated with chronic facial pain. Problems that prevent muscles, bones, and joints from working together in harmony may result in TMDs that can result in degenerative joint disease, which includes osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis in the jaw joint. Can you imagine space in the jaw bones, muscles, and joints of your face? Can you sense space within your cheeks? Imagine the internal activity within your cheeks and jaws while envisioning tiny particles of matter in the form of atoms, cells, and molecules within, throughout, and around your jaw joints and cheeks, swimming, existing in space. Can you also imagine the space outside your cheeks? Experience the continual stream of spatial matter within, throughout, and outside your entire face. Existing as one continuous stream in time and space. Notice the space between your cheeks and your heart. Sense your heartbeat. Breathe slowly and deeply, noticing your breath. When you are ready, gently bring your attention back into the room and slowly open your eyes. So, regarding sharing, if you care to post a chat or write something in Telegram after experiencing this session, then feel free to do so, to share your experiences of that particular session. And so at this time, I'm going to go ahead and move into a closing reading. And this is actually an excerpt from a talk by Susan Shore-Femi. So I will leave you with this. And during this particular broadcast, Susan said, right now, as you are listening to me, various islands of asynchronous activity are bubbling up in your brain. There are millions of islands. You're taking in the temperature in the room and the sound of my voice. You're feeling the chair against your back. You may be feeling a breeze blowing across your skin, or maybe your cat might be at your ankle or, clawing at you, wanting to get in your lap. But all of this objective information is producing islands of asynchronous activity that bubble up, then recede. This is what creates an objective world. Viewing a tree at a distance is objectively clear by way of an island of asynchronous activity. The way that we know this objective world is through asynchrony. We think this evolves developmentally when babies begin learning to separate themselves from their environment. They begin to learn, that's my finger, this is my mommy's breast, etc. These narrow, focused, asynchronous developments are important for learning how to navigate in the world, but we've overused it. We're so addicted to this narrow, focused, objective making, effortful sense of self that it's stressful. The sympathetic autonomic nervous system, which creates stress, becomes activated, muscles tense, blood flow distorts, and adrenaline and cortisol are too high. Conversely, when you produce more synchrony, the islands of asynchronous activity become less important. What then dominates is a sense of oneness. When you are producing lots of synchrony and you're in an open focus state, the objective world becomes the background, and the foreground is the sense of oneness. This is what we call and how we interpret consciousness. We have a choice. We can attend narrowly or expansively. And we can combine various attentional states which influence brain waves. With practice, you can do it all at once. While I'm talking, you could make me the center of your awareness and be really focused on me and what you're thinking about and what I'm talking about. This narrow type focus is what we are trained to do. When you were an infant, someone waved a rattle in your face and you looked and responded. Everyone clapped, so you were rewarded for your ability to pay attention. Or you could also maintain a peripheral awareness of the space and objects that are surrounding you at all time, rather than screening out everything in your peripheral awareness in order to be a good listener. So again, these are things that we can think about as we are continuing to practice the experience of space. And so I will leave you with these words and thoughts with the hope that you will continue your practice throughout the Baselines week. And for those who've already completed the multi-dimensional assessments for weeks 5 and week 3 for the newcomers. Thank you. And there will be one more final assessment for the majority of the group next weekend. The multi-dimensional health assessment questionnaire will repeat, and that will be the official completion of the study. As I said, I will be going live for a couple more weeks for the benefit of people who joined later and want to view these recordings. Okay, I hope you're having a fantastic weekend, and I will see you in the Telegram chat, if not on a future Zoom call. Okay, have a fantastic day. Bye.